Welcome to another episode of DBTV. Today's episode, we're celebrating 1 year of DBTV. DBTV, DBTV, DBTV. And for the very first time, I brought the whole collection in one place. For those who are new to the channel, my name's Nico. I'm a supercar enthusiast from Sydney, Australia. This is going to be a very special episode. So come and check out my supercar collection. So again, for today's episode, we're going to go through my whole collection. No better off than starting where my journey started with show cars, and that's the Honda NSX. This is actually the second NSX that I've owned. First one was a coupe, NA1. This one's an NA2 a Targa, which I've wide-bodied, and it's been supercharged. So I've had this since 2006, so it's coming up to 17 years, but it's a 97 model. I've got around 120,000 Ks, and I'm be the first one to say that I'm guilty, but I haven't driven the car for over 4 years. So this is the first time that actually this car's been displayed for a number of years. I mean, I've been married for coming up to 3 years, and even my wife hasn't been in this car, but it's a very special car. There's not many in Australia, you know, taken it on a few drives. This is one car that I won't sell. Yeah, it's a very special car. So next up, we have the 1997 Ferrari 355 GTS 6-speed manual. It was actually a silver car, which I've wrapped in Tech metallic white, factory red interior. It's got a Capristo exhaust. It makes one of the best sounds you'll ever hear on a car. It's up there, you know, with the roof down, that 6-speed Capristo. It puts a lot of cars to shame in terms of the noise department, and it just looks so cool. Definitely one of my favorites. Probably one of the negatives of the 355 is the maintenance. It's compared to the NSX, this thing is a money pit. So that's probably the only downside I'd say with the 355, but when she's running, one of the best cars to drive. Next up here, we've got my Ferrari 575 Marinello. It's a 6-speed manual, but it's not a factory 6-speed manual. It's actually had parts from a 550, so it's had a conversion, a manual conversion. The interior, it's got the rare bucket seats from the Enzo and carbon interior. It's got the V12 naturally aspirated, which I put the Fiamengi exhaust. It's a GT car, but I think it's a very cool classic car, and it's obviously designed by Pininfarina, so it's definitely a future classic. And then we get to our 2022 Lamborghini Urus, our baby mobile, which is the car that my wife drives every day. It's her daily driver. You know, we use it for family trips, taking my daughter to school. We love it as a daily driver. It's very spacious. You know, it's got all the infotainment and tech that you need. The sound of that, you know, of that V8 got such a good rumble. I think it's going to be a tough one to replace this car when it's time. I say to people, I think it's really good value for money. And now we get on to my daily driver, a 2022 Bentley Flying Spur. And you can tell now the color, it is my jam, but I do like this black purple type of color change. So this one, the color, they call it Damson. And with the black pack, with the Mansouri wheels, I think you can tell it's got that luxury look, but it's very sporty as well. Really enjoying this as a daily. And I've only had it for a year. It kind of, you know, stands out when the sun hits it. You can see, even in this light, you could see the purple, but when it's dark, it looks, you know, it looks black. Yeah, Bentley Flying Spur. So now we're getting to the heavy stuff in my collection. Let's start off with the Lamborghini Murcielago 670 SV. I've owned this car for 3 years now. NA V12. Prezek exhaust. I've wrapped it with the Tech Midnight Purple, just a monster. This is actually my third Murcielago. I've had an LP640 Coupe manual. I've had an LP640 Roadster manual, which some people said I shouldn't let go. And obviously now this one, the LP670. In Australia, there's only 8. I'm the only one in Sydney. And I think you'd probably agree it's up there in my collection. And now we get to the newest car in my collection, It's a McLaren 765 LT Spider, which MSO's kind of customized with the interior and also the carbon bonnet stripe. It's actually my second 765 LT. First one was a coupe, this one being the Spider. I've gone with a similar color to my coupe. This thing is a rocket ship. It's definitely the fastest car in the collection. It makes over 800 horsepower. And now with the comfort seats, it's also very, very comfortable. And when you put the roof down, it just brings that experience to a new level. So now the last car we're going to cover is potentially the most controversial. It's my 2020 Ferrari 812 GTS. What makes it so controversial? As you can tell, it's no standard 812 GTS. It's been enlargoed by Novitec. What does that involve? Well, we wide-bodied the car. So some people think that I'm crazy, but to make this a wide body, we've actually had to cut the fenders to make it wider. So far, the reaction's been very, very popular. Actually, I'm very surprised, but a lot of the purists also love the car. Maybe because we left it in black. So far, the response has been amazing. So that wraps up today's episode, which covers 1 year of DBTV, where we've covered the whole collection. It's interesting to see all of them here at the one spot. I want to know which is your favorite, guys. Is it the OG NSX, which is where my journey kind of started? You may even just like my dailies, or some of the big boys, the SV, LT Spider, or the controversial Enlargo. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And if you're liking the content, please don't forget to like, subscribe. We look forward to making more content for you guys. Thanks very much. Oh, by the way, if you like, don't forget to, one more time.